What's going on, y'all? It's J Smo Reviews here, back at it again with another video, man. Bringing you guys a couple topics I just wanted to go over that are, rather talked about at the moment. First one, which we'll talk about here in a second, is John versus Cassidy, the whole face-off and promo debacle that's happening. Everyone's kind of differing opinions. Both of them have hopped on platforms. Cassidy on Hip Hop Is Real, and then John on 3 Letterman, kind of to talk about, where they're at, why the face-off hasn't happened. And then, of course, we're going to talk a little bit about Tay-Rock and Eazy, which I did a video on, around I moved into this house, so a little bit over a year ago. It was talking about the battle with no raps and how it wouldn't happen in the foreseeable future. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're in the foreseeable future. Hasn't fucking happened, right? And I have my reasons of why it still won't happen in this next foreseeable future. But I also want to give my opinions on what I don't like about the situation, kind of from both sides, and a little bit of the Eazy Cody talk, because I feel like that's the main clip I've seen people take away from, and kind of my opinions on some of the things that he said as someone that's been on the Cody panel a couple of times. But like I said, first thing I want to talk about is John and Cassidy, which we're not going to talk too much about the raps, even though it is this weekend bullpen endgame on Rap Grid. Go purchase that and support. But I had tweeted, with this lack of a Cassidy face-off, really lack of promo we've seen from him, a Cassidy battle without a face-off is like buying a plane that has no wings. It's a very key piece of the plane that makes it whoosh, you know what I'm saying? And with Cassidy really having a lack of promo, I mean, you're not exactly booking the guy mostly for the raps. We know the quality is low in terms of that regard. So it is about this power. It's like the super boss. It's like the boss battle version of what Snake Eyes is, right? It's like Snake Eyes, but with this outside of battle rep and name that he can lean on, where you just talk shit no matter what. Doesn't matter if you lose, doesn't matter if you're proven wrong, proven right, whatever. 100 people versus one. He just has this ability to always talk shit in the face of whatever. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Cassidy also holds that, and that's kind of why he has these pre-recorded face-offs, which is the face-off that is not going to happen, like he had versus Goods and Hitman and Arsenal, where they kind of sit down. It's more production-based, it's based around the face-off. Now, as John said on 3 Letterman, they're going to have it maybe the night before, late the night before. He said 9 p.m. So it sounds like John trying to piece together a face-off, because this battle needs a face-off. And I heard some of Cassidy's reasoning. The main one, which people should point to, which is serious, of course, is that he lost a homie, and I think it was his manager's friend. He said clearly someone that he said he was close to. He said and John has confirmed that he's been communicating the whole time. It's not like he's ghosted him or been hard to reach. That he genuinely said he's been going through this. So real life always comes before battle rap. We're not going to joke on that or belittle that by any means. But you also hear other reasonings as well, and that's the thing with Cass, where it's this. Got this No Diddy song, he said, that's doing numbers. It is about to hit 1 million views, and he's focusing on that. I don't know what, focusing on what with that, whatever. And then also saying, why is John trying to, push this face-off or promo so hard when Rex is on the card? Of course, fans will rationalize anything. It's how are they a Cass, but Rex is on the card and hasn't done a face-off? We know how good Rex is with the face-offs. And it's when has the main event not been the first face-off to go through? I just want people to think. I want people to stop seeing their favorite artist say something, just be oh, that makes sense. It really doesn't. You know what I'm saying? It's almost always 90% of the time, if not more, the main event is the first face-off that goes out. This is basic, you know what I'm saying? Now, Bullpen isn't known for face-offs like that, and now John's saying that Friday there's going to be face-offs for the full card. If it is the endgame card, why was that not set up ahead of time? But then you hear John say, I don't focus too much on the promo and the lead-up, I focus on the event itself, because if I only focus on the promo and then the event flops, it gets bad reviews. Well, brother, what about both? What about we promote the event and we have a good event? It just, battle rap never ceases to amaze me. There's a couple of things in that situation that make no sense, but I do think it is unfortunate we're not getting the sit-down, pre-recorded type of face-off here with Cassidy, which would be the full, what you should get when you book Cassidy. We don't know. I'm sure, since we don't know all the business and details, I'm sure it'll be one of those situations that any questions that we have, probably post-event, you're going to start seeing kind of answers and people's theories and how they really felt about it, being put out to the public. But this doesn't obviously change how I felt John was going to kill Cassidy before. I still believe that is going to happen. A lot of people talking about it just seems like Cassidy doesn't care as much about this battle. And it is different from some of these other situations, RB, URL. Granted, it was the Grizzlemania thing when he battled, I think it was, I forgot exactly. It was one of the billionaires, was it Alki David, but when he battled Disaster. I do think it is, the fact that it's a week away and it kind of like, wow, it's like a Cassidy battle in a week. And it's not like that many people talking about it. It's definitely a step down from the hype that you've seen from other Cassidy battles, but he's still got to step on stage. Still a chance. Obviously, the event ends up being that like high impact type of event that you would get with him in the main event. But I still think it's going to be a solid to good card either way. It doesn't worry me about the exact quality because I didn't think the Cass was ever really going to add to the quality. But I do think it is unfortunate for John not to get that pre-recorded face-off that truthfully has been the key to success with all these other cast battles. It's actually almost like you just simply get more from the face-off than you do the battle itself. So, bit of an unfortunate situation, but we'll have more thoughts once we have the recap out this weekend. And of course, Eazy and Tay-Rock situation, right? So in terms of how it got stirred back up to this level, quick series of events. Rock beating Reed to death, right? We saw that. Eazy tweets while watching that, I want to battle Tay-Rock. Tay-Rock responds, I don't want to battle him. He needs me. I don't need him. Yada, yada. Just talking crazy. Same thing he's really done the last few times. I don't want to battle him, this and that. Then him and Chess do the 15 Minutes of Fame interview. They both went on there and they both talked. It's all about, I think they talked about a few things, but the one 15-minute video they put out of, Eazy leaving gun titles, how he did it in a lame way, the shit talking afterwards. Like, once again, I don't need to battle him. So basically just more slanderous, speech towards Eazy. In response, what did Eazy do? He went on live on his own channel, dishes out his own slander, and has that clip I think most people are seeing of him saying why Tay-Rock's not champion, how he's had 8 debatables, and he's had all these losses, which is really what I want to talk, I love the Cody talk, so we'll talk about that in a second. And then in response to that has been the tweet fest from both of them. Rock saying, you got 4 battles, it's a sinking ship over there, you got 4 battles this year and nobody cares. He's got 2 battles, he doesn't have 4 this year, all fairness. Called them a turkey burger with extra bacon. Hilarious way, I guess, to disrespect a man, and they just whatever, it's went on from there. So what are my thoughts, from either side of this? My thoughts are, we are in the same fucking place we are a year ago, right? Rock wants to battle on URL, Eazy wants to battle on Chrome. And I know, but that's it. There's going to be people that like argue against that, but that's really the holdup here. They both want it on the big leagues that back them. There's just no other way. I know Rock isn't flat out saying it, even though it's very clear that if the battle was able to get set up on URL, we'd be having the battle right now. And as for Eazy, and this is where I have to side with Eazy a little bit, is the bags and bodies situation. I don't think Eazy's being straight up, he clearly wants it at Chrome too, but when that bags and bodies, situation came up, the offer was there for both of them. One of them said yes, which is Eazy as far as we know, and then one of them said no with Tay-Rock, and I just think that, it was the best, you're not going to have, it's very rare, a neutral situation that's still a big enough situation to house this battle was going to come around. We know the card that Power Moves is looking like. We don't know the check, so we can't speak to it, but I'd assume that it is very nice. So we would want to see that battle, and I get it. Like Rock is a grown man, a legend. He can say no. I know there's someone watching right now. It's like, why can't he just say no? Put the gun down. You know what I'm saying? It's not that serious where we're overly angry or anything like that. I mean, some people, that's the nature of battle rap. However, what fans want, and you're not going to stop fans from wanting battles because then we won't have any sport, right? So what fans want is grudge matches. Fans want big spectacle battles, and they want the best versus the best. This battle houses all of that. It is a spectacle. It is a real grudge that they don't like each other, and they are 2 of pound for pound the top 5 battle rappers in the world right now. So I don't want to, I'm not happy with Rock saying no, particularly with the bags and bodies situation. I think that he should have said yes. You know what I'm saying? I can't judge him. I can't say, oh, you 100% made the wrong move. Time will tell. But I thought that was a great situation for the battle. However, I don't think it's cool to be mad at fans or anything like that because they're mad the guy says no. It truly is one of the biggest battles he has left. I saw that he mentioned, he has Iron Solomon he could battle. He mentioned Lux, but I mean, he said many times he's not battling Lux. It's not really a battle for me, even though they're big names. I've never the pathway isn't there for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes there's God tiers that don't battle other greats. Sometimes we want to have seen it, and sometimes it's just 2 guys that's path never met up. And I feel like it's like that with Rock and Lux. I'd love to see Rock and Iron on Iron's return, even mention a Nitty rematch. But the Eazy battle is bigger than those because of that personal storyline that it holds. So if I have to, on the Rock side of things, I'm really not a fan of that. I mean, straight up. However, go into Eazy's kind of rant about it. And listen, they're both going to be slanderous towards each other. You also have to realize both of these guys have said, I want the battle. I don't want the battle. Fuck them. Like, they've both done that 3 to 4 times now. So I'm not looking too much into every detail like that, because truth is they both went back and forth with their stance with the battle many times now. But as for the Cody rant, right, about Rock having 8 debatables and not being a champion and this and that, I just want to say that just because some of you as Eazy fans, or some that want to see the race be closer, just because someone goes up there and passionately says, he lost this battle, he actually lost this battle, it's debatable, that doesn't necessarily always make it true. Now, some of these battles are close that they're mentioning, right? Loso, Ward, like, for instance, he's saying those are debatable, he could have lost those. They're judged battles. They're judged battles. And I know people don't want to accept that. It's like it goes past them. He won $20,000, you know what I'm saying, for beating Loso. It was a close battle, yes, but the call had to be made. The Riot judging, anyone that watched my Riot recap knows how I felt about that judging. I personally had Ward edging the battle 2-1, but it was a close battle, and there was a judge result right there. But then I also see people saying, like, oh, he just lost to Bill. Like, when did it get to that point that he just, like, clearly lost to Bill? You cannot take everything you hear and then just run with it like, oh, it's the way he said it. These guys are performers and entertainers, and when they sell you a great rant, sometimes people are like, I never thought of it that way, when in reality, it's just two people that don't like each other trying to paint the worst picture of each other as possible. That doesn't make it the truth. That makes it something that they're trying to paint on the other person. And I say that to say, listen, I actually think the point about Av was great, because Av has not lost a battle this year, in my opinion. He's having a very good year. I think that if Rock was to take another loss, it would make things even more interesting, but to make it out like Rock has had this completely overrated year. Now I'm seeing ARP, which of course he's like, wow, that many losses? Like, how did I not see this? All of a sudden, everybody just opened their eyes to his year. No, people, you know what I'm saying? Don't be sheep forever. These guys do not like each other. I do believe eventually they will battle, but they really don't like each other. And all they're going to do is stretch the truth and do what they can to slander and mess up the image of the other person, which is why when either of them are speaking on career, like, you have him saying you lost to Bill, Loso, Ward, the Big K battle's ass, and you basically almost lost that. And on the other side, you got Rock talking about how Eazy's buzz is dying off and no one cared about the last 4 battles he's had this year, even though he hasn't had 4 battles this year. So I want you to take those rants with a grain of salt. It doesn't mean that you're going to do it either, but I'm not buying too much into there's really any truth that they're speaking about each other. The only truth here is that this battle is not going down anytime soon. And like I said, not a fan of Rock turning down the bags and bodies offer. So in terms, but outside of that, I'm not taking all these, oh, he's actually not the champion. People want to see the race be closer at the end of the year. This happens every single year. There's always a loud cry for someone that's like, oh, he's actually not the front runner, because we want to see the debate. We want to see the drama and kind of build up that momentum and tension going into the panel itself. So those are my thoughts, panel-wise. I still think Rock is one of the strongest, if not the strongest contender in the conversation right now. But you are seeing this 180, and listen, the Jazz loss hurt him, and a couple of these battles are debatable. So I'm not saying that you can't critique the case at all, but I'm saying that the way Eazy went with it, there began to be, it got more slanderous in nature than it did real analysis or really any fact with it. But in terms of when I think the battle will go down, I think next year you're going to see a lot of leagues make like their best chance at take their biggest run at trying to get it locked down. Even though you would think that would have happened the last year and a half, who knows? Maybe Bags and Bodies had the best situation to put together. But with a whole year in 2025, with Eazy talking about the battles he wants next year, he wants next year to be a stacked year for him. And the Tay-Rock battle is mentioned around every time you mention 2025. That is a battle he wants to get done. And I saw Yoshi G actually made a point that the battle won't go down until Surf comes home. It was a small point, but the more I thought about it, the optics would be crazy. Surf coming back home, all of gun titles on stage there for the battle, wherever it does go down at. I do think, but it might be that long. Like, I'm not ignorant to the fact that it could take that long for the battle to go together. And Surf obviously has Eazy on his hit list. And when Surf is home, gotta admit, not just in the culture, the way that he's able to cultivate people and kind of get things moving in a positive direction for him, but obviously behind the scenes, he has a ton of sway. We had a gun title Summer Madness, you know what I'm saying? So I'm sure that by the time he comes home, there is a better chance of that battle going down, but I could see that kind of being the marker that we might not get the battle before then. And if we do, we would love it. You know what I'm saying? It is the biggest grudge match to book in battle rap right now. It is at least a top 3 biggest battle to book in battle rap right now. We will not get it before the end of this year. We're not getting it in 2024. But, if 2025 is one of those that if we don't get it then, I don't really know when we're going to get it. But I do think we have a very good chance of seeing this battle next year. It's taking some time, people, but we are getting there in that direction. But now I want to hear your guys' thoughts in the comments down below on both situations. John and Cassidy. How do you feel about, some would say, the lack of promo for that event, right? How do you feel like that's all going to play out once we get to the event? And how do you feel about Cassidy not doing the face-off? Is that bad on his part? And that's if they don't get it done Friday, obviously. And then with Tay-Rock and Eazy, I know everybody has thoughts, usually very hostile thoughts that make them yell at opposite thoughts of them on the conversation. But how do you obviously feel about him turning down the Bags and Bodies plate? But where do you think is the best place for this battle to happen? Please let me know in the comment section down below, man. But it's been J Smo Reviews again here, y'all. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to catch you on the next one, man. Peace.